10, 12 minutes until the top of the hour.
Hey.
Because it was about Black Hawk Down, remember?
Oh, Black Hawk Down.
We're talking about Mogadishu and how we have a huge listenership in Mogadishu.
Oh, Mogadishu.
Half of Mog is listening to Hot
Hey,
96.
don't say Mog. Oh, that's the short name of Mog.
Correct.
Mogadishu
They call
is
it-
Mog?
Yeah, the Mog.
Oh.
As opposed to the Morgue,
Oh, okay.
right? Just Mog.
Mog.
Sawa. So, from 1969 to 1991, Somalia was ruled by a ruthless dictator called Mohamed Siad Barre.
Hey,
Ruthless dictator.
let me set it back. Or otherwise.
Mohamed Siad Barre. Right? Oh, 19... Atoa hiyo hapo. Okay. Mohamed Siad Barre is deposed in 1991. Flees through Kenya. He was a good friend of Daniel Arap Moi. He gives him a refuge here in Kenya for a while. And then the Nigerians come up because Nigeria was head of the Organization of African Unity then, OAU. They had the chairmanship. The head of state then was Ibrahim Babangida, the guy they called IBB or Maradona. The Nigerians called him Maradona. So IBB was chairman of the OAU. He gave Siad Barre and his huge entourage exile in Nigeria. So they flee. For the next 2 years, Somalia slips into just chaos, madness, and craziness. 2 years. Clan fighting, Somalia deteriorated into a basket case for 2 years. On top of that, the farmers didn't farm because there was civil war, and of course, a famine loomed. Huge famine of biblical proportion. In the end, because of pressure, obviously the news agencies, all the broadcasters were talking, were broadcasting out of Somalia or sending pictures out. The U.S. decided to send a coalition in, military coalition, now to take over
Somali.
They called it Operation Restore Hope. 10,000, you could see these guys landing on the beach, the amphibious vehicles landing in the water and then driving on the beach. It was a spectacle. Every U.S. outlet was there live that morning as the amphibious vehicles and the soldiers, Marines, Special Forces landed on the beach to save this country from oblivion.
Why save?
I'll tell you, I'm coming to that. So then they called it Operation Restore Hope. Yes, okay, the fighting stopped, but the famine was taking over big time. And now the clans decided, you know what, we're going to use food as a weapon of war. So as the U.S. was distributing food, the clans would take the food and now they would control the food for the population.
Okay.
One of the clan leaders, the best known of them, was a guy called Mohamed Farah Aidid. Famous Farah Aidid. So Bush is in the White House then. He says, you know what? We're going to get this guy. He's the guy who's controlling our food, not letting the people lead, and giving our people a hard time. We're going to put a poster out. Mohamed Farah Aidid, wanted, dead or alive. Just like in the Wild West.
Okay.
Right? So then they send in these special forces. Elite guard. They were called Delta Force. And Army Rangers. 2 sets. Special forces. We're going to go in. We're going to grab this guy. We're going to take him out. Either way. Wanted, remember. Dead or alive. October 1993. They set the date. They finally got the okay from the State Department, Washington, D.C. They said, go in on the afternoon. Of course, they went in with these high-tech helicopters, which they called Black Hawks. And there they are over the skies of Mogadishu. They're all coming in. They're determined because they've got some intel saying Aidid and his people are meeting in downtown at Bakara Market in downtown Mogadishu. The helicopters are coming in quietly, nicely, smoothly. It's going to be 2 hours at most.
And we're
Go in,
done.
operation, we're done, out. Aidid had other plans.
What?
So as the helicopters are flying into town and they land on top of the building, And they go in, the special forces go in and they capture these guys. In the meantime, they have the unit coming from the ground where they're going to put all these people they've captured, rebels, and send them to the US base on the outskirts of Mogadishu. So they land, get in, go down, arrest these people. Now they're putting them into the Hummers, right? As they're driving out with these Hummers, they've already arrested them driving out. It looks like a successful operation so far. All of a sudden, boom, it begins. Boom. I'm telling you, the firefight that ensued. Now, rebels are coming from all over Mogadishu. Guns are freely available. AK-47s to RPGs, rocket-propelled grenades. Now they're going after these so-called elite units.
What?
Maze Wali Chapwa. Wali Chapwa. 1, 2, 3 dead in the first couple of hours. And then the rebels said, you know what? Let's take this a notch higher.
What?
They climbed the buildings and they started aiming the RPGs at the helicopters. They said, if we can get these guys down, this will completely destroy them. Boom, missed the first time. Boom, missed the second time. The third time, they hit the tail of one of the helicopters. That's why a famous movie was made later on called The Black Hawk Down. They hit it in the air and it came tumbling down, crashing down into the market area. Soldiers inside, wote wakakufa. Right? Now the fighting is still going on in the streets. The soldiers are still trying to get these guys out. They're trapped. Tires have been lit up and down the city. The city looks like a big black cloud of smoke. They don't know where to go. There's no GPRS. They can't find their way. GPS in the sky is trying to tell these guys, go left, go right, go left, go right. Every time they do that, they're trapped by the militia. Militia kept chopping, boom, 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 wadli chapwa. Remember, it was a 2-hour operation? 10, 12 hours later, they're still fighting. Another Black Hawk helicopter is sent over. These guys said, you know what, we hit the first one, let's hit the second one. Boom. They hit another one. 2 have gone down now.
What?
In the second one, 2 of the pilots are killed and one of them survives. He comes out. Man, and this time the entire city has descended on the Americans. So they go in, the Somalis, they go into the helicopter, they grab this one guy and they kidnap him, they take him away. The other ones who are dead, they strip them and they start dragging their bodies down the streets of Mogadishu to say, look what we've done, we've got these, and they're dragging them down the street naked. Pictures seen around the world. Black Hawk Down. This other guy, now they captured him and they were holding him for Farah, Aidid, a pilot. So that's one captive. In the meantime, downtown, it is hell on earth. Hell on earth. 12, 13, 14, 16 hours later, these guys are still fighting. Somalis won't let up. In the end, there was a UN contingent in operation that wouldn't leave their barracks, by the way. They wouldn't leave until they got the okay from New York, from the UN. Because now this firefight has become crazy. It's unmanageable. The US have sent everyone they could. There's no one else to send. Finally, the UN force is given the okay and they go and help these guys out. And they help to ferry the soldiers out. In the end, 19, count them, 19 elite Delta Force and Army Ranger soldiers, young boys, 18, 19-year-old, killed. And these are the best of the best in America. It's like Navy SEALs, eh? It's like the SEALs. 19 of them killed on that day in one day in Mogadishu. One of them bodies dragged down. The other guy kidnapped and held for days before he was finally released. But I'm telling you, man, unbelievable. Unbelievable. So fast forward. This was 1993, right? Fast forward to 2000. 2002. One of my first stories for CNN. We're in Mogadishu. So 93, 2000, almost 10 years later. We're in Mogadishu. We're doing a special series on this whole Black Hawk thing, by the way. And I'm in downtown Mogadishu. And Black Hawk Down, the movie now, Hollywood movie. Of course, it's made Hollywood style, right? But the movie itself, produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, is showing for the first time in Mogadishu. Some guy has gotten some bootleg copy, and they're going to show it in the local field. You know, like they have mobile films, or they used to have here, the mobile cinema.
Yeah.
This guy had gotten a copy of Black Hawk Down and was showing it that night. So we decided, hey man, let's go cover it. So we're there. Stadium is packed. The field, soccer field, is packed. Kumeja, kila mtu ana AK-47 bana. Hata watoto. Kila mtu amebeba AK. Wengine RPGs, the whole works. And we go, and they, of course, they allow us to film because it's a great film. Because the Somalis, they take that as a victory for themselves. And the movie starts. And the helicopters are going into town. The first time a helicopter is hit in the movie, you should have seen this crowd in the field. Yeah! Yeah! They were clapping. And you know, CNN is American, right? And they're seeing this American helicopter being brought down. Eesh. Watch out, the second one was brought down. Yeah! Cheering, applause from everyone. Maze, they loved that movie, yeah? I mean, in the end, obviously, the Somalis didn't look so good in the movie because it's an American-made movie. But the fact that this movie showed in downtown Mogadishu about Mogadishu. And by the way, that helicopter, parts of it are still embedded in the ground where it came down in Mogadishu. We were able to see it in downtown. It's there. You know where it fell from the sky and the rotor just rotated and slammed into some building? It's still there today. Unbelievable story. You can't make this stuff. They called it Black Hawk Down. If you want to rent it or buy it, just check it out. Netflix, check it on YouTube. There's a great trailer on YouTube, by the way. Black Hawk Down. And that's what we call
A story
a day.
It's the Hot Breakfast with Jeff and Jalango.